Thank you, Chairman, and I appreciate Mr. Conley. Thank you for your generosity and cooperation. Mr. Shalansky, I want to understand what you believe your duty and obligation is to respond when Congress sends you a letter, and specifically I'm talking about the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. I'm the chairman of this committee. I have sent you on the waters of the United States 2 letters and a subpoena, and yet we still have an incomplete document production. That subpoena was July of last year. What do you feel your duty and obligation is to respond when we send you a letter?
So first of all, let me say that I think the oversight function that this committee and all congressional committees perform are vitally important. And so I fully agree with and support and would endeavor to get you all the information you need for your lawful oversight functions. I believe that's a critical function. We do respond to all correspondence that we receive from Congress. We have a process that goes through, and it is my understanding that we have a very robust ongoing discussion between your staffs and your offices and the Legislative Affairs Office and General Counsel's Office at OMB to respond to your requests.
I don't want to have any more staff discussions. My question is, what duty do you believe you have to respond to us?
I believe it is my duty to turn over all documentation to our General Counsel's Office and our Legislative Affairs Office that is currently engaged in the process of producing documents and witnesses for you.
So in the case of WOTUS, the Waters of the United States, when is it reasonable for us to expect you to produce a full, complete, 100% document production? What's a reasonable time for your response?
Again, I am not personally involved with...
What do you mean you're not personally involved? You're in charge of this organization, so...
I am not personally involved with the process that has been ongoing for months between the General Counsel's Office of OMB and the Legislative Affairs Office.
So who do we call before this committee that will take accountability here? General Counsel? What's his name? Or her name?
Again, I do not have personal involvement with the negotiations that are ongoing.
Wait, we're not here to negotiate. Why should we? You gave us you said we have a valuable constitutional duty. Why should we have to negotiate what you're going to give to us?
My understanding is that there is a process in place, Mr. Chaffetz, by which you've received thousands of pages of documents.
No, most of those.
For transcribed interviews. And all of my documents are turned over. Again, I'm not personally involved in the negotiations that you and
Give
your
me
office...
some names. Who are the people that are involved?
I would refer you to our Legislative Affairs Office.
No. See, this is the runaround we get. I issued a subpoena in July of last year. Why shouldn't I hold somebody in contempt?
My understanding is that subpoena is in the process of being answered. You've already done one transcribed
I'm asking you what a
interview.
reasonable amount of time is to get a response.
Again, the process is ongoing.
7 months? Is that reasonable?
Again, I refer you to our Legislative Affairs Office that's managing
Give me
this
some
process.
names, Mr. Shalansky. You saying you're not responsible, but you're the administrator of this office, so...
Mr. Chaffetz, I'm responsible for turning over all of my documentation and getting you all the information to our General Counsel's office. They've been working with your offices for months. I'm not going to step outside of a robust, ongoing process.
So you don't believe that your responsibility is to respond to Congress. You believe your responsibility is to respond to an attorney at the White House.
I disagree with your characterization.
Well, I'm just trying to repeat what you just told me. You said your responsibility is to give it to the General Counsel.
I have turned over all of my documentation, everything that I have on that rule. They are in a robust process that has been going on with your office that you are participating in that is ongoing, that has led to a large document production.
It's not a
and
large.
Ongoing document production and witnesses.
It is not a large. Most of what we have, the overwhelming majority, is publicly available documents. I can go to the internet and get it, just download it. What we've asked for is the list of people and the documents themselves. I'm asking a simple question. What is a reasonable amount of time for Congress to get that information?
My understanding is that this is a process that has been ongoing, that has been producing you documents. I've turned everything over that I have to the people that are working with your
So you believe that the General
offices.
Counsel has 100% of the documents?
The General Counsel has 100% of my documents. I'm only involved with my documents.
See, this administration is just playing hide the documents. I'm trying to figure out how and where are these documents? And give me the name of the General Counsel.
I believe that your office is deeply involved with
No.
General Counsel's
Did you
office.
misunderstand my question? My question is, give me the name of the person.
I'm going to refer you to our Legislative Affairs Office.
Mr. Shalansky, you got to answer the question. Either you don't know or you have to answer the question.
You're under oath. Do you know that person's name?
Yes, I do.
Then what is his name?
It's a her.
What's her name?
Her name is Alana Cohen, as your staff well knows.
Well, I'm asking you the questions. Why do I have to spend 3 minutes trying to get you to give me a name?
Mr. Chaffetz, we have had a very robust
You can
back
keep
and forth.
using that word robust. I know you trained up on it. I asked you a simple question. I send you a subpoena. I send you letters. We shouldn't have to yank you up here.
And I gave you a very simple answer. I've turned over all of my documents to the people who are working closely with your office and producing those documents. 4,000 pages of documents, at least one transcribed interview, so I've heard, and more of them scheduled. There is an ongoing process, so I do not think it is a fair characterization that you have not received an answer.
Well, I expect to get 100% of the documents. So
100% of my documents are turned over. I am not personally involved.
turned over to, not to us.
To our Legislative Affairs Office and our General Counsel's office that is working with your office to
That's
get you
not
what you
an
need.
acceptable answer. You're
I'm-
failing in your duty to respond to Congress, and I quite frankly don't understand why we shouldn't hold you personally in contempt of Congress.
That's
I'll
certainly your
yield back.
prerogative, Mr. Chaffetz.
Yes, it is. I'll yield back.
I think that